Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video, we're gonna talk a little bit more about the Pittsburgh Pro. Yeah, maybe I'm overstretching this topic, but we got a couple of really interesting things that happened yesterday as well. So, first thing we got is Nick Walker's post. He already made that story in which he talks about his next plans and so on, but here he kind of talks a little bit more about the loss he experienced. So it's basically a motivational message to everybody, but really he's talking about how he feels. So he says, losing doesn't mean you're broken, it means you cared enough to try to risk your heart to stand in the arena when it would have been easier to sit it out. It means you had something worth fighting for and it still matters. The pain you feel now isn't weakness, it's proof that you were brave enough to chase something real, so you keep pushing, not because it's easy, but because deep down you know this isn't the end of the story, you still have chapters to write, and they might just be the ones that save you. So, yeah, I mean, he's gonna probably talk a little bit more about how he felt. We all saw how he felt after losing. He felt like he was robbed, like he deserved that victory, and basically that's how like 90% of the fans and of the industry feels like. But yeah, I guess he felt broken at that moment, and then he realized that really now he's potentially a contender for the Mr. Olympia title. I feel like at the Mr. Olympia, and Nick is going to the Mr. Olympia, he's going to win the New York Pro this weekend. At the Mr. Olympia stage, unless Derek brings something significantly improved, if the difference between these two guys is the same, or let's say if Nick improves a little bit more and Derek shows up like this, I don't think they're going to give it to Derek again. You know, I think they're going to punish him if he's not improved. And are there really big chances that Derek is going to be better? I mean, he already peaked perfectly for the Arnold Classic. Here he was maybe a little bit worse, but still very close to his best peak. And then he needs to peak again at the Mr. Olympia. Will he be able to do that? Well, you never know, but based on what I saw so far from bodybuilders, I don't think he's going to be able to really bring his absolute best. I think he's going to be, best case scenario, the same he was right here at Pittsburgh. And if Nick improves a little bit, let's say he controls his midsection a little bit better, I think he's going to beat Derek Lunsford. And if he beats Derek Lunsford, that means he can beat Samson, he can beat Hadi, he can win the Mr. Olympia. So even though he lost this show, it doesn't mean anything. It actually means that he is still at the top of his game. He can still improve even at this point in his career. And if he pushed Derek this much, Derek who just won the Arnold Classic, beat Samson Dauda, and Samson who beat Derek and Hadi the Mr. Olympia, if he's pushing Derek, that means that he is in the top. That means that he can win the Mr. Olympia. So I think overall, this is a good thing. And now he's going to have a lot of fans as well, because now he's the underdog. Bodybuilding fans are fired up, man. They're really riled up. And I really don't remember a show when fans were so emotionally involved. Like, I don't think this was the case at the Arnold Classic or at the Mr. Olympia. And I'm also starting to think that maybe they actually gave this victory to Derek because of this. Because the IFBB actually wanted this. Because those guys actually wanted people to be so riled up. Because this is good for the sport. Even though everybody is angry and disappointed at the judging at this show, still, this is probably a good thing for the sport. You know, negative emotions are stronger than the positive ones. So the next show that happens, New York Pro, more fans are going to watch it. And then at the Mr. Olympia, a lot of people will probably cheer for Nick because, again, he is the underdog now and because we feel like he was robbed. So maybe this is exactly why they did this. And as far as the Manions, you know, Jim Manion and Tyler Manion, Jim Manion doesn't really address these kind of things, but Tyler does. However, he still did not talk about the results, the controversy of this show. He did not address the quote-unquote robbery. He did make a post about the show, but he didn't talk about this. And guys, I wanted to say another thing, like, yeah, we're criticizing these guys for maybe not making the best decision in judging, but like, Pittsburgh Pro was one hell of a show. They really did a good job with this show. Like, it was super exciting. The battle for the victory was really freaking amazing, really cool. And another thing that not a lot of people talk about is the quality of the live stream. I don't think the quality of the live stream was better at the Arnold Classic or at the Mr. Olympia or at any other show probably. And the lighting also, the lighting was amazing, the stage, the background, everything was spot on. The production value of this show was really high, and I know that Gilco Production was in charge of the live stream and I'm guessing of the lighting as well, so he did a phenomenal job just like he did at Detroit Pro, but this was probably better. I mean, maybe the stage here was not exactly black curtain, but I like this as well. I mean, it wasn't distracting, the background and the lighting was great and the live stream was just phenomenal. Like, it wasn't lagging, the quality. Look at the quality right here. Like, this is great. So, say what you will about the judging, but this was an amazing, a super exciting show, super exciting weekend, and, I'm looking forward to the next one, next year. It's gonna be amazing, that's for sure. It was actually so good that it got Dorian Yates involved. Like the guy, the former Mr. Olympia, one of the most popular, one of the best bodybuilders of all time, who doesn't even follow competitive bodybuilding anymore, he actually had some comments to say about this. He actually, I don't think he watched the live stream, but he probably checked the videos later, and he actually had some comments. He actually watched this show. So he did an interview with Ron Harris. I didn't watch the whole thing yet. I'm going to watch it. I love to listen to Dorian Yates, but this Instagram page, Beyond the Stage TV, actually posted up this short video in which he actually talks about Nick Walker. Let me play this for you guys.
But from the video, I would say that Nick Walker would have won, in my opinion. He was in better condition and everything. What the fuck's up with the chewing gum on stage, man?
Yeah, I don't.
Mr. Walker, don't chew gum on stage, mate. Come on.
That is a rookie move. I don't know what he was doing, but.
Alright, well, in Dorian Yates style, he always has something negative to say about bodybuilders today. This time around, he was wondering why was Nick Walker chewing a bubble gum on stage, and I talked about the same thing. If you guys watch my video, I was also confused. I was like, why would he be doing that? Like, he's always professional on stage. Why would he be chewing a gum? I understand having a gum in your mouth when you're on stage, but to chew it like that, to make it so obvious... No, it was just unprofessional. It looked stupid, and I thought maybe that's why they punished him, but... No, I don't really think that would be the reason, but yeah, that wasn't good. I don't know why he did that, and it's interesting that he doesn't want to admit it. Apparently, he texted Ron Harris and he told him that he was not chewing a gum, and I don't know why is he saying that, because it looks like he did, like, it was very obvious. I don't know if he did something else that made him, I don't know, move his mouth like that. I mean, I have some ideas. I don't want to say it right here, but no, I think it was just a bubble gum. He was probably chewing a bubble gum, and I don't know why he's not saying that. But it doesn't matter now. Hopefully he will not do the same thing at the New York Pro and at the Mr. Olympia. But other than that, Dorian also had Nick Walker winning, and if Dorian is saying that, he's saying that because he believes that. He has no personal relationships with any of these bodybuilders, with Nick or Derek. He's just saying it the way he sees it, and he's no longer really, involved with IFBB, so, and even if he was, I don't think he would be sucking up to the judges or the IFBB. I think he would call it the way he sees it, and he feels like Nick should have won the show. Dorian Yates feels that way as well. But maybe also a part of the reason why Dorian feels that way is because this kind of reminded me of like Dorian's battles back in 90s. Like the other guys who were going against him were all a lot more aesthetic, like Flex Wheeler, like Sean Ray, like Kevin Levroni, and Dorian was the one who was a freak, a mass monster, the most conditioned guy, the biggest guy, and he still ended up winning every single show, every single Mr. Olympia, even though the other guys were more aesthetic. They had better symmetry, proportions, lines, they had smaller waists and stuff like that, but Dorian was just winning with his freaky size and conditioning, and most of us feel like that should have been the case at this show as well. But it wasn't, unfortunately it wasn't, and the next thing I'm gonna show you guys is also some comments from Chris Bumstead and Iain Valliere. Take a listen.
That was a crazy show. I mean, the crowd was going wild. I mean, it was such a split. They even did a third round of comparisons between Nick and Derek. Really close. I personally had Nick winning. I had Nick then Derek. You saw it the other way.
When I was in the morning and I sat to the side of the stage, I had Derek all day. I was like, Derek won the show. And the second I saw front-on shots of how wide Nick was, I was like, okay, Nick won.
Yeah.
So I was a bit split, but I thought Nick was going to win after.
Yeah, no, I.
Alright. Both Chris Bumstead and Iain Valliere had Nick winning, and they were actually there at the show as well. And they are not saying that it was a robbery, they're being respectful, but they're both saying the same thing. They felt like Nick won. They're trying to make it like it was a battle, it was close, this and that, and they understand that the judging was really difficult, but in the end, they both think that Nick won. And also, on the live stream, if you guys watched it, Fuad was sure that Nick was winning, Dennis James as well, basically everybody. Maybe Bob Ciccarillo, who is working with the IFBB, is not saying that he thought Nick was going to win, and I don't know if there are many other people who are also agreeing with his decision. Everybody, literally everybody, feels like Nick was robbed, and my opinion at this point is they did this to rile us up, to make us more passionate, more excited about bodybuilding, to actually want to watch New York Pro, to watch the Mr. Olympia, and to cheer for Nick Walker. I don't think they did it because they like Derek Lunsford, because he's a good representative of the sport, because he's their boy or anything like that. I think if they actually set this up, if this was actually rigged, if this was actually fixed, they decided to do that because they wanted people to be emotional about it, to speak about it, and to be more excited about Nick's revenge at a Mr. Olympia. So I don't know how much sense does that make, if that's actually correct or not, but I don't know, man. Like, what other explanation is there? You know, maybe you can say Nick had a bit of a bubble gut, or Derek was more aesthetic, but that doesn't cut it for me. That doesn't cut it for me. The only explanation is that they actually decided to do this because it was the right business move. IFBB is a business after all, and after this show, we got one really awesome rivalry. Whatever your thoughts are, guys, tell me down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. For more content like this, guys, subscribe to the channel. See you soon, all the best, and bye-bye.